Outer Orange.
Today, we are going to touch base on some of the reveals. We recently just had a stream happen where it usually is, because you guys should know sort of where these are, and if you're ever curious. So Be Sure does these conferences, and now we have English conferences, and basically we had one just happened 2 days ago. It was pretty hype as it basically brought in a lot of information for the upcoming end of the year going into next year. As you guys may or may not know, it might not be too surprising, but the first half of this year was a little bit of a struggle bus. So now that we got a little bit more information for the end of the year going into next year, there's definitely a lot more hype and what's going to happen. We're going to kind of go over that today. First and foremost, we did get a ban list. It's a very outdated, we're a little late. It's a basic fighter rules update. We also got a ban list on top of this. It's a little late. We probably should have gotten this a little bit sooner, because but they wanted to do it after BSF. I personally am kind of disagree, but I think this should have happened a little bit sooner, because we definitely had a very dominating meta, and it kind of sucked, especially with the dog coming out. Especially Shiranui definitely was like the powerhouse of the last couple months, and we've basically been in that meta for a while, and it kind of really sucked because during this time we had a lot of cool new stuff coming out, and I feel like the new stuff just wasn't in the same level or the same league as like what Vanguard or Shiranui were doing. But that's just personal thoughts. That's just how I feel. I felt this way for a while, especially when these decks first dropped. I feel like their level was a little bit higher, even if they required just a little bit more luck to win with them. Anyway, they updated the ride decks here, so now you're forced to play with the actual ride deck that comes from the deck set. You can't change the ride deck, which is kind of unfortunate. I personally hate the fact that this had to happen, because I like the creativity of the ride deck being able to be whatever you want it to be, but because the way these decks are structured, what's been happening, like it just happened to happen. It just kind of sucks that the requirement happened, because I think part of the enjoyment of any ride deck and part of the is literally being able to creatively build your ride deck to be your ride deck. I think that's what makes D really fun. Then we had the actual ban list here, effective August 9th for us. So they basically just did the same thing that JP got. They unrestricted the Elviria with the Velshbon, and then also the Swirler, and the GG restriction was unrestricted. Basically, these cards are restricted. You can only play one or the other. Now you can play both for both Lyrical and Dark States. Basically, the Lyrical got Ballista back, and Dark States, Chronojet got their unrestricted back. So now you can just play your decks. I will say, I think Ballista, I was already cooking. You gotta kind of play some of the new stuff and be okay with it. Ballista just on her own is very generic, so I think this unrestriction doesn't matter too much, because it's kind of just up to you which one you want to go for. And I think with all the new grade 2s that have been coming out, she has actually a lot of flavor of cards she can put in. The Elvira is really nuts, but also like there's other cards that have been coming out, they're also really nuts, so it's kind of just up to you how you want to play it. So there's that. I think Ballista got a little power crept out personally, so but she still draws a lot. Still a good deck, to be honest. It's just not, the best deck anymore, obviously. And then Chronojet just recently has been getting results, actually, and they've had the restriction for a bit now, so it's just now starting to show results. I think part of that is because of some of the new product that's been dropping and making that deck just better, and that's basically that. We also got this restriction, which also was, again, the same one that JP got. Shiranui got restricted. The Shiranui grade 3 got restricted with the Dragon Empire OT, and then we also have the Luard and the dog restriction with the Karagon. Karagon's a kind of insane card, I'm not gonna lie. The card on its own just does a lot for any deck, and then in Luard it just does even more, because Luard has a lot of late game stuff, a lot of multi-attacking, a lot of setup, a lot of draw, and then this deck just kind of adds on to that. Luard also sends cards back. You can just kind of keep spamming the same loop over and over again, and it gets very consistent towards the mid to late game, and this is why this had to happen, because you can spam this dog multiple times. Raziel does this a lot too, and just a lot of Keter decks just really love this dog. I am very weird about this dog. I'm not a Keter player anymore. I used to be for a while, and then I had to kind of trim down a little bit of how many decks I owned. I cut back Keter, and I think even without Keter, even without the dog, Keter has a lot of tools, and I think adding the dog kind of adds more to that. And there's a lot of revival too in Keter. I don't know, I'm kind of weird about the dog existing, but maybe that's just like a me thing. I don't know. Going back over to the Dragon Empire side of things with the Shiranui, I think this restriction is kind of I don't know how to put it. It's just weird. And I think we've talked about this with JP as well. The thing about Shiranui is that it's still topping to this day. And it's still performing well after multiple sets and multiple events happening over in JP, of course. And them having team formats and all this stuff, and still seeing Shiranui kind of be on the top half. It's just I think it needs more than just this, personally. and I think we're going to be seeing that a lot. But I don't know, it's a hard call. There's also set 4 coming out for Lyrical. We got Festival Question that just dropped a few days ago, literally like 2 days ago. So there's still time to kind of let stuff develop, and I'm very for stuff developing. I'm just kind of tired of seeing the same 2 decks perform for now like 6 months now. It's probably been even longer than that at this point. If you include JP, it's been longer. But it's kind of at the point where it's like I really just would rather see the new stuff, because that's kind of like what the point of the new stuff is. Seeing it underperform because it's being gate kept by like a super 2 insane decks is like just a little rough for me. I'm not gonna shut up about the ban list because we do have a lot of other stuff to talk about that I kind of want to go over. We have Vanguard Days back. I think Vanguard Day is actually pretty fun and really cool. I went to one of them recently, and we kind of did like a 2-in-1 where we did Divine only and Vanguard Day in 1 for hours just because of time. And that was really cool. I thought it was really fun, and it was just really enjoyable. And I will say it's definitely brought a lot of more interest into like wanting to go to locals recently. Like we just had Divine 2, basically the Constructed Cup happened like literally yesterday for us, and that was also really fun. Had a lot of people come in, people started sweating a little bit. It was like a nice sweating. It wasn't like a like a try hard sweating, but it was just that little bit of sweat that made it just slightly more interesting to like actually play out your matches and just have fun, and it kept people out longer. I just think it was overall a good thing. People were looking for the energy cards for the people that got them all, and it was just really cool. I think this stuff should definitely stay, and I hope it keeps staying. Like this is the first year they're kind of really doing this, and I really just hope it sticks around because I think this is really fun. We also had we're having a dimensional constructed cup. This is basically what I was just talking about for Divine set 2. We're getting one for Divine set 4. I believe this is set 4. Maybe this is set 3. I'm really bad at keeping up with this stuff. I mean, long story short, we're getting one again, basically for the future. It's coming up really soon. This was really cool, to be honest, for both of them. So this is really, I think it's gonna be really cool. And they're only doing it at 50 selected shops worldwide for this one, so this one's gonna be really fun. I'm sure the shop I'm in should probably get it. I don't know how the system works, but it's a very popular shop. I'm surprised if they don't. We just have a really high attendance. So so long story short, I expect this to happen in our shop as well. So it's really exciting. I think it's gonna be really fun. We have the Yumenoko Kesho Cup, I believe. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry, y'all. But anyway, this I'm actually really excited for. I have been not much of a mat enjoyer, like a regular mat enjoyer, but really big into cloths recently. But I ain't gonna lie, I really like the mat, and I really like the crit trigger too. I've actually been using my crits and heals in almost every single deck, except for the decks that I can't use them in, or Storkea, because Storkea, all my triggers are SP'd out, and I just kind of feels bad taking them out unless I really want to switch over rarities, which I might. I don't know. I actually really like the heals and crits. I'm legitimately like just very into them. Unless I literally can't use them, I actually have them in almost every deck, so I think they're really cool. But yeah, I think the art for this one's like really sick now. The anime to life, just another showdown. You can take part with ride lines that appear in the Divine Z anime. One looking for you can get each round gets to an extra pack. So just another little extra thing going on. I think that's really cool. And next we have the kind of big stuff, the stuff that really got people excited. This is the shop challenge promos. So we have shop challenge happening. Basically, there's promos that you can get by being in the shop challenge. So there will be these promos, which has a lot of random stuff in it, but also has some couple staples in here. Like I believe this is a staple. This might be a staple, and this is a new Vanguard, basically. So this is another. I think this is also really good. It's like the card. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the Storkea one in here. I'd have to read it to see what it does. And these are old cards right here, and I think this is an old card. I could be wrong. Actually, this might be one of the part of the new ones. I don't know, but this is a really good reprint, a pseudo reprint as well. And then we have some premium ones as well. This is premium in a V, I assume, like the V that's dying basically. And we have Vice Wars and Shadowverse. I can't tell what that is. It looks like Trail of Light. It is Trail of Light, so that's the spell that gets you draw cards. So all cards of that's really pretty as well. Overall, really good. It's gonna be really fun. Shop challenges are always usually kind of packed with little goodies, so this is gonna be really fun. It's been around. And then regional qualifiers participation goods. This is gonna be really cool. Basically, you get the promos, but you also get a tote. I thought those so randomly, just get a tote. I like the tote personally. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I go to one of these, I always have like a random clump of stuff. I don't know where to put it. I have a bag, but my bag's always full of stuff. I'm always like, I don't know what to do. It's gonna be nice to get the little tote. I'm probably gonna hang it up like back here or something and just keep it back there. And then yeah, we also have basically the PR packs. We have standard, premium, and Vice and Shadowverse involved. Now you notice something really interesting. There's no more V. At all. Like, well, there is. We'll talk about it later, but there's no more V in these, and see, no V, no V right here. So that's gonna be we should talk about here in a second. But we'll get to that pretty soon here. Next, we have the top cut qualifiers. So basically, you will receive one of the 2 sets. You just basically for top cut you get. Now notice it says top cut. I need to make that clear as well. It says top cut. It doesn't say top 16 or top 8 or top 4. It just says top cut, which means we have a chance. I don't know. We have a chance of there being a top cut that isn't just top 8, which I think would be really nice, really good for everyone. There are some events that are like 9-rounders, like over like I don't go to BCSs over in Europe or Asia, obviously. However, or Oceania. Obviously I don't go there. I live in the United States. But from the United States perspective, the events that I've all been to, except for like one, have all been basically like 8-rounders, 9-rounder events, right? So it would be really nice to actually have a normal top cut. Well, we got like 400 players and it's only down to top 8. It feels a little rough because sometimes you're like just right there. You're like literally like the 10th person in. You're like the 9th person in, and going like X1, like 8 rounds, it feels really awful to not break through. And I've seen a lot of my friends just bubble the knife being an X1, by the way. So I think the top 16 would be nice for those players, especially the people that literally are like, they're right there. I will say for smaller events, like if you're down to like 100, 200 players, I think top 8 is a little bit more doable because it's usually a 5 to 6 rounder more than it being like an 8-rounder. I just think anything with 8 rounds, I just feels bad. Like it feels awful, like playing like literally for 8 hours and then just getting absolutely nothing out of it, especially when you're going like X1, X2. It just doesn't feel nice, especially since you basically leave with a tote. You know what I mean? Like, so I think this is really nice. So I'm really excited for the potential chance of this top cut stuff happening. I will say I think they're gonna have to speed up the events. That's probably why they have the time restrictions like how they have them now, because if they're going to include top cut like this, they're going to have to go faster, and they can only go so fast with, especially when, you know, there's big events. So they're gonna have to figure something out there. So that's gonna be interesting. I think that's why the time rules are the way they are now. It's kind of just like you're done, go home type of thing. So yeah, people are gonna have to start playing a little faster. The time rules are there. Bring a deck that will keep you to speed. You know, don't slow play, because slow playing sucks in events when people lose in. I don't think the time rules are going away, especially if they're gonna start including top cut like this. Like, I don't know what to say. Just start playing faster. I know that sounds like really cruel and cold, but that's just reality. You only got so much time. So and now there's no more, you know, there's no leniency anymore. You lose, you get a time, you're done. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We have top 8, also set A, set B, where the mats are back. I'm very happy about this. And also top 4, by the way, not top 3, top 4, get the PR, which is also really good. Again, top 4 always went away with basically nothing. I think they got a paper, I don't remember. Actually, I've actually gotten top 4 just recently, and we literally left with nothing. And it was very sad. And my boyfriend actually topped even before that, and he also got top 4, and he also left with nothing, and it also felt really bad. So I will say I'm really happy this is also included, so I think this is really good. So overall, this is all really exciting stuff. I think everything here is good. We kind of had like some of this when I was competing, like I think in 2022, I want to say, and maybe 2023. I don't remember 2023 as well. But 2022 is like we had the top 8 cards and all that kind of stuff. We had the mats, and that was really nice to actually have some hanging across my wall here. Of the playmats that I got from topping in every format. So it would be nice to bring this back. Like, I'm really happy this is back. I think it's very useful. It's very nice. So like I said, BSF in the first half of this year was really weird. This should have already been a thing. So I'm happy it's here. I hope it stays. I keep saying that because we've had cool stuff come out and then it'll just like disappear, and then we're back to like the weird pricing we had at the beginning of the year. So yeah, I'm really happy about this. And then we also have these regional, this is premiums end. So that was D, this is premium. Obviously theirs is a little different because they don't have like the energy stuff. So they get another, basically a participation pack. They get the top 8 mat, and then they get the top 4 PR card. Also, this mat's actually really pretty. I don't know what it is about it, but the yellow actually looks really nice with the black and the salami. It looks actually really good. So I really like it. So I think this is good. And then we have side events, and guess what? V Premium is back in side events. So basically on the side events, you can play V Premium. There will be a V Premium tournament, and you get a participation prize, you get a top 8, and you get a champion card. All really cool stuff. And then for free fight, you can also get the participation and the champion cards for those energy cards, as well as the free fight is basically you just play whatever you want, and then you fill out a paper, and they have a chance of getting stuff. That's also really cool. It is sad to see V Premium go. I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna have to drop the format. I don't think it's gonna come back now. So I'm very, very convinced that I have no reason but to have like one deck on me, basically. So I'm probably just gonna have to drop the format completely, which is really sad. It is my favorite format. I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but it is the format I started the game on. That's probably nostalgia talking as well. But I actually do just enjoy the format mainly because of honestly because the OT is not in it. It's just nice to be able to guard freely. Having the OT and kind of changes that a little bit, obviously. So that's, I think, my biggest thing is like it was like my sanity check format. It's the format where I can play the game and kind of know when I lose. And D and premium, that happens a lot less, I feel like, but that's the main thing. But otherwise, I am happy to still see V's around. This is probably not gonna be for long. It's probably gonna be like a 1 to 2 year thing. And then I can see this completely dying. We'll have to see. There might be a chance that I might stick around depending on how much people play and all that kind of stuff. I do think it's fun to just enter these, especially it's like a side tournament. And by the way, like One Piece does this too, and like in general, like they do this like on their end as well, where they have like these side events where you just basically compete and also win prizes, and their prizes are like insane over there. So I think this is a really addition. Any tournament, not specifically this, but just having a side tournament happen, I think it's just really good. I think it'll be really nice, and it'll make people stay and kind of actually do something, and not just like wander around and go, I don't know what to do. I'm already done with free fly and blah blah blah. So I think this would be a really cool side addition. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Next we have this anime quiz. You can do the anime quiz and basically get a lucky like lottery version of the Lio. And that's also another side event thing, which also I think will be really fun. They've actually been doing little games and stuff to win little prizing. I don't think I mentioned this in the last couple times that I've went, but they did it for Georgia and they did it for Texas. But basically they were like doing these little like rock paper scissors events, and you could just win random packs, random free stuff. It was really cool. It was really fun. It really brought people into play. So they should definitely keep doing stuff like that, by the way, for anyone that's watching that's like a Brashured person. I think it was really fun. I would like see the crowd. I'm like, I want to go. It's just like that height, that excitement of just like, oh my god, something's happening, I need to know what it is type of thing. So I think it's just really exciting. So definitely should stick around. We have the judge program, awesome stuff. The judges will be able to get their own energy markers, their own versions of them. That's also really cool. You can go to this is the 24-25 regional schedule. This is basically the year 2024 and 2025, the Bruce Championship Series. Got the World Finals, got the regional qualifiers, and we got the shop challenges. The shop challenges, as we went over earlier, basically this is just the events that'll be happening before BCS and get out of them. So this is the Grand Blue one that you can get. But anyway, there's no more V, goodbye V. But we have Vice, we got Shadowverse. It is Trail of Light. That's a really interesting art, Trail of Light. And then there's buy cards that you can get. I heard they nerfed the buy cards a little bit, which I'm very happy that they nerfed them. I heard their tiebreakers aren't as good now, so that's really nice. But you can get some buy cards for BCS basically. And then going over, this is just a schedule, I guess it's just kind of when they're going to be running, so there's going to be more information. But the real thing is the regional qualifiers, right? It's like different stuff. We got the side events, basically just kind of explaining what's going to happen on the side. So I'm glad that they put this in here. Keep in mind, Shadowverse also has side events happening. There's a Glory Quest thing, a free fight for 5 shores. I think it's really fun. Oh my god, that's so pretty. It's the girls. It's the two girls, the crit and the heal. That's really cool. I don't know. I don't even know who these people are. I just think they look cool. But anyway, let's go over to actually the schedule. This is something that a lot of people were really hyped about, so I kind of want to go over it real quick. Basically, NA got like a ton. This is way more than we've had before, and it's really nice to see how we can kind of move it so we can see all of it. But basically, this is all the events that will be happening. Not a lot. So you have a lot more just variety, basically. And I will say something I thought was interesting was Florida isn't here, but New York isn't. I was very surprised to see that New York got taken off. We also got different California locations. Got some Costa Rica, Peru, obviously Georgia, Houston, the two popular ones, and Chicago is also the popular one. California is very popular. We got Vancouver, the Canada ones, Toronto, the usual ones. So we have a couple sprinkled of new ones. I think this is a new location for Puerto Rico. I don't think it's the old location, if I remember correctly. Overall, really exciting. So you have a lot of room to compete. Also, notice these start in October now, and not like September or end of August, which is really good. It gives you more time, because in the past, like, they would literally announce these, and then like 2 weeks later, the first event will already be happening. It was like really scuffed. So I'm really happy to see that this got, you have like more time to think this through. Like it's July 14th right now, so you got a lot of time to kind of start thinking about these. I'm definitely been thinking like where I want to go, wherever I'm gonna go. It's a lot of choices, which I think is really cool. It gives a lot of opportunity. I know Europe has a couple. I'm sure they might be adding more. I don't know. And there's also Asia. And I'm assuming Asia's gonna get some more too. I don't know, obviously, but I'm guessing they're gonna have more because there's a TBC here, and they only have 4, and they're all in December. So I'm assuming they're gonna be adding more. I think having a spread out like this is actually kind of nice, because each month there's one happening, and you can kind of set up for it. I really like every month something happening, because this is what keeps the hype going, and what makes the seasons feel less dead. One of the downsides to this year is that we didn't have BRO, so we kind of had like basically just some time where it just felt dead. It's like, yeah, like Spring Fest is happening, but it really feels so exciting. And now having all these different ones kind of thrown everywhere between like course of months, this is really good. Part of what like I enjoy about like I bring One Piece up a lot because it's like the main game I play a lot and keep up with a lot as well, including like obviously Vanguard. And one thing I noticed is every month there's always something going on, and it always gets me excited for like the next thing happening, because there's always just something to look forward to. They also have construction cups and all that kind of stuff. So there's always something to just get like ready for, get excited for. There's always something to talk about. There's always something to just like look into, right? And that's really cool. So I really want the Vanguard and Shadowverse and Vice too. I don't play Vice. I don't know much about Vice, but you know, all three, basically the three main games that Bishop supports. I'd love for them to get that same kind of love. Definitely a lot to kind of look into and look out for, and kind of start preparing and, you know, planning. And I feel like it's gonna be a really fun year for everyone, including it is going into next year as well. Which, keep in mind, Worlds now is probably gonna be a lot later next year, since a lot of these are entering like a lot of these are ending like in March or something like that, which means Worlds, I'm assuming, is gonna be closer to like May or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but they're gonna obviously make another announcement for that. They actually said in the stream, and I really recommend watching that. But in there, they basically talked about like what's to come, and that they're saying that, hey, stay tuned for this for next. Hope you guys enjoyed my little recap. I know I talked about a lot. I kind of gave a lot of my opinions as well throughout it, so I hope that was good. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna peace out. So VidCards.shop, code orange if you need your goodies for any of your stuff, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, all that good stuff. I will be traveling to some of these, so you guys will see me kind of somewhere vlogging. I'm gonna be really big into vlogging this year and trying to get as much footage about the events that are happening. That's kind of like gonna be my main priority, events and people, and going to the events and just talking to people. I'm already doing it with my locals community, so I want to just take it a step further and also do it for other events. I kind of wish I was already doing them, but I was like too scared to record before, and I'm trying very hard to break out of that habit, like really hard. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop rambling. So peace out. Das Vidania. See you guys in a future video. Bye.